In this kind of situation, generally you don't want to attack different planeswalkers because he's basically saying, you decide, bro. And I will say, yeah, I'll gladly decide what I, have. Alright, I think it should be, which one we pump? I think it's Teferi. Teferi is a bit higher quality in this situation because we don't really care about milling so much. Alright, I mean, all we need is farewell from the top. Huh, I see. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today the deck that kinda was requested for a long time. The Ichormoon Gauntlet deck with a bunch of good planeswalkers that we would be playing anyway in this kind of deck. So it's very low investment. You basically use 2 slots and your whole deck becomes very different because you scale way harder than normally. And for this reason we also play Teferi, who slows the sunset, and of course it means we also play Celestus, but we like Celestus anyway. Jace is a straight up win con, so every counter you put is like you mill your opponent's 3 cards, and when you stack spells you can basically mill them in like one big turn with single Jace, which is not usually the case, so that's pretty cool interaction and synergy. With Teferi, that's actually a really big thing, because normally you don't really ultimate Teferi very often. With this build you can absolutely do it. You can even ultimate it on the same turn if you have enough in the board. Like if you have Jace, Emperor and 1 spell, you can basically play this and ultimate it on already the first turn. That's insane, and that's one of the cool things about the deck. One remark, you will see a different build in this video. The build I originally scrubbed because I didn't like the results and it felt clunky. However, in this build I couldn't get a gauntlet single time in the games, and I really wanted you guys to see it. So I took the games from scrubbed ones just for you to see the gauntlet, and I really didn't like it for some reason. Maybe because I was 7 times on the draw. Maybe that's why I didn't like the results. However, you will see this version, so be warned, but the rest of the deck is basically the same. And yeah, I like this one more, and you will see the gauntlet in action, so I think it will be worth the entertainment. So guys, I hope you really enjoyed the deck. It was a curious one, because generally this card is pretty hard to use, but I think we made it work. So I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe and enjoy the video. I don't need brew very quickly, so I can just afford it. Oh my god, this will be annoying. However, we can remove Talia, which is something, but not before she trains. One of the problems with Talia. He's of course on the play, because we are again on the draw. And let's kill Talia and see if he has a backup one. Because if we can get to Sunfall, we should be okay, man. Officer is fine, it gives card advantage, but not super much strength, And the farmhand is pretty good here. It kinda negates the recruitment officer, it gives us lands for the Sunfall, so yeah, pretty happy with it so far. And on the next turn we can use Emperor to buff it with the first strike and start raiding very nicely. So it's not something that will win us the game, of course, but it can give us time. And time is all we need, especially with Memory Deluge. Like, he's paying 4 mana to draw 1 card. We will pay 4 mana to draw 2. Here's Talia. Very important stuff. 2 damage to my face is fine. Even though we have Memory Deluge, I think we might cycle it. Will we? Will we cycle it? No. I mean, I don't know what I meant, but you get what I mean. The point is, he will play Talia, and I need to respond with the Emperor, so I can ensure this turn goes kinda smoothly. If I play Raffin Tower, I can play Emperor, he has Talia, and it's looking really bad for us. So I mean, he's drawing card, but if he wants to play a full control game, like I'm for it. Sure. Especially if he keeps playing into the board, like, he doesn't really gain much, right? We get the same effect as -2 by -1. He can kill only Samurai. And I get my free board. So if my friend, if you want to go this road, trying to go for the value, Oh boy, I'm here for you. Because you ain't outvaluing us. And we still have the Sunfall. So when he finally realizes that it's a losing game plan and starts to go into the board, then we Sunfall and we say, haha, it was wrong from the start. Do we care about Emperor? I honestly do not. I honestly do not. Like, I have already board advantage, right? So we could negate it. It's probably one of the few cards in the whole deck that we can negate, but I much rather go for Memory Deluge. Sure. He goes for the token and double attacks, right? He's playing it smart. He really tries to lowball the board as much as possible to hit the first sweeper. And let's see what we get first. I will pay myself for this. Teferi is a good draw. Honestly, Jace as well. This is the kind of stuff I want. Alright, we traded against one of them. Syncopate. Pretty interesting one. Pretty interesting one. Jace scales very nicely, doesn't it? We can Syncopate, it won't be great. We have 6 mana for the Sunfall and that should be enough. So we don't go into the night time. We negate. Let's go for Brutal Catar just in case. I think there is a correct choice here. Like, you know, there are lords here that can buff some types. Honestly, they are both soldiers, so and both humans, so yeah, probably the same. Alright, let's see the anointed. Oh, he doesn't have mana for it. That's huge, because he would name a Sunfall and we would be in some trouble. Then we need to draw a land from the top right. I mean, I think we play the first Sunfall to make it easier for us. He wants to play it at the end step, right? So maybe that wasn't the best play ever, but I think it helps us a little bit. And we'll keep plussing so we don't lose Jace. Then he plays the Anointed Peacekeeper, plays the Catar at the end step, and probably Talia to triple tax us. But we still have the Emperor, right? And he cannot kill Jace on this turn. Enjoy. Maybe that wasn't the best turn for Sunfall. Probably I could play it a bit better, but I think it should be good enough. I think we will get there anyway. The obvious choice is a Sunfall, right? Yep. Naming Jace would also be interesting, because then, you know, I need to pay mana for the ability, and it's not really worth 2 mana right now. And the point is, what are you going to do, my friend? I also have blocker for the next turn. And I could also have Emperor, so I can choose what I want. We could even play Teferi, untap the land, and go for the activation, right? That's also pretty good. And we will have exactly enough mana. Alright, 3 damage absorbed. It's basically life gain 3. So, like, small river, right? Interesting draw, that's for sure. How much damage is this? 8 damage. Alright, we definitely go for this guy, because this doesn't tap. So it means it cannot die to the Emperor, right? And I mean, it's either Teferi. It also gives us mana for the next turn to possibly Sunfall if we hit a land, right? That is tempting. Or we can just go Emperor and make it awkward. Emperor sounds really good, man. Let's see. Let's see. He won't have easy attacks, man. He cannot attack the Emperor even though he knows about her. And he cannot really kill Jace. He needs something from the hand that is instantly impactful. Like, for example, Copper Code Vanguard. That is exactly what he needed. However, so he can kill Jace. Extremely annoying, not gonna lie. But what can you do? And the creatures still have 1 toughness. We can even block the Anointed Peacekeeper without losing the Samurai. And then we can always use -2 on the following turn, paying the war. I mean, we have the mana for the ward cost. Bruh. This seems like a trap, but I'm curious what the trap will be. So show me. Maybe Brutal Qatar, that's generally the play you want to make in this situation. Maybe there's more.
We must protect the people.
It's a Ganjo, right? I think it's a Ganjo. Because he has priority right now, they don't play a lot of stuff. So do I want to lose the creature? Do I want him to play a Ganjo? Maybe next turn. And he plays Brutal Qatar and I still lose it. Alright, other line. So we need to survive one big turn, and that's why we need blockers. That's why we need blockers. No Scrurf, that's important. I think we need to go into the Sunfall somehow.
Keep watch for intruders.
Making minus on this is pretty good. I think it has to be the Teferi. 1 mana something. Yeah, it's probably Qatar Commando. If he activates it, he still loses the creature, so it's kinda, you know, not very meaningful. No artifact. I mean, why not? And let's go like this. This way we have mana for the activation, which means we threaten another blocker. This will be a lot of damage, but I think it's not enough to kill us fully. And I'm not paying the mana, so we can keep the token up.
You can be made to obey.
No attacks. I mean, the whole game goes around triple tax. Like, we need to pay 3 mana more, and if you want to target... Like, you know, theoretically he can tax 4 mana on something. Here we are. So we block 2 big creatures, but it's 7 damage. I still think we don't die this turn. And he also needs to kill Teferi unless he wants to... Oh my god, that's so good at Magic. Playing all the creatures before we can, you know, pay 8 mana for our Sunfall. Because that's how the game works. Alright. He probably really wants to kill Teferi. Let's see the attacks, because it will be hard for him. He needs to commit a lot. Honestly, it's probably worth it, right? Because then he gets a full additional turn this way. So he should commit probably like 3-5 power creatures. And he can do it. In this kind of situation, generally you don't want to attack different Planeswalkers, because he's basically saying, you decide, bro. And I will say, yeah, I'll gladly decide what I, you know, have. Let's see, this is important. Which Planeswalkers is getting more attention? I don't think Emperor is the one. So let's activate the thing. Alright, so first of all, I want to save Teferi, right? We are trading. And I also want to do it like this, right? If I block with this one, he can sacrifice and kill other thing. And this, you know, you get the idea. There are plays here. Emperor can die. Jace probably as well. Only... Oh, right. So we need to get rid of this one. Yeah, I think that's the case. And we just hit land from the top when we win, right? That's the plan. And we have 26 of those, so I'm sure we will just draw untapped land. We have only 3 tapped lands in the whole game. Somehow the line went through. And I mean, that's the play. That's how you win against this kind of deck. Let's not target anything, please. And let's target this one. And just like this. Easy game. Never didn't have it. I mean, how's your deck now, bro? And moment for regret. And the explosion, right? We're still playing, bro? You sure? Are you really sure? I have a 7/7, by the way. And oh, right. I could attack, so I wanted to attack, then untap before I use the ability and ultimate on the next turn, so I'm not sure why he was in the game. After the first sweeper, the game is over. Right, guys, opponent goes first. I don't like this hand, to be honest, but we'll try. We have decent land base at least. We have a counter spell. However, if our opponent opened with 1-drop Talia into 3-drop, we probably cannot keep up with it. If that's a 2-drop first, I mean, we both don't have perfect opening so far. And this is the turn. I mean, this is the card we needed to just, you know, get back into the game a little bit. So the 3-drop will be uncontested. Unfortunately, it's one of the best 3-drops ever. I cannot go for the Gauntlet. If I go for the Gauntlet and I miss the land drop, I'm dead. And I'm already dead very quickly, but with no... Oh no. That's such a good play for him. It buffs the Adline, he doesn't even need to play more. Let's get rid of Brutal Qatar. It's not looking good for us. This will be so much damage so quickly. We need to keep hitting land drops or we lose. We need to do it now. Before Squelch gets over summoning sickness. I mean, double Emperor, double Sunfall, no lands doesn't seem like a great opening. The fact that he's drawing cards means that it's weird. Are those lands? Alright, I mean, maybe we have a moment to hit our lands because we are not hitting them right now. Alright, first step. He has to attack. Alright, so I think the Emperor might be our saving grace, but as you can see against this kind of matchup, you just don't have time to play the Gauntlet. I mean, we could maybe if we had lands from the top, because then we are sure what the next play is, but now we needed to be, you know, a bit more defensive. And maybe Brutal Qatar or something. Ossification. Ossification is fine. Like, I already have the board advantage, so I don't need more. And now is the time for the Gauntlet, right? Let's attack. Even if he had Resolute Reinforcements that don't seem to be part of the, you know, humans deck usually. Alright, I have 5 mana, it's fine. Ah? What you gonna do? You know something is up. He's going for it, hoping for my mistake. I mean, not yet. Oh, I can proliferate. Alright, that's the first strike. Enjoy. So we basically removed Talia for free. Instead of -2, we just did +2. And even though he has this, like, it doesn't matter. And now let's go crazy with the Teferi. We put the counter here. We can proliferate. Do we want to proliferate? I really want extra turn with the Emperor at some point, but let's keep... Oh my god, it's such a trap, man. I'm so used to the spot where the card is, and as you can see at this point, if they lose the pressure, I think we won this without the Sunfall. That's insane. Like, we literally didn't even use our sweeper for this matchup. That's crazy, man. Alright, going first, that's good. We have Jace and Emperor into Sunfall, so, you know, I would have some counter spells or Fateful Absence, but it's pretty good so far. And this is a strong opening, especially on the play. On the draw it would be much weaker. Alright, let's see if he will hit. I think he will hit, make disappear, right? Tapland would be perfect for me. No Tapland. Alright, ready with the counter spells. Oh, we playing something? Danik, I love it. Oh my god, that's perfect for me. This means I have a really good Jace target. So I guess it should be Esper Legends in this case, right? Which means that we won the matchup probably. Because we will Sunfall and everything will die, so we need to be careful about Raffine into Earth I Resurrected. Here's the Raffine. He should attack, because he gets the counter. Yep. And here comes, man, Raffine. I'm still so hurt that the cool Esper Legend Sphinx Demon is an aggro card, man. Like, yeah, because Esper is exactly known for being the most aggro color, right? Makes perfect sense. Alright, so what do we do? What do we do? We can do a lot of stuff, man. We could -3 to this one and hit Raffine with the tax. And it feels like a good idea, honestly. He might have another Raffine, and somehow they always do. But he really shouldn't. Like, having double Raffine is not normal opening. And I know, because I played this deck at some point and I couldn't hit Raffine ever, man, like on the opening. It was so hard to just hit a single one of them. So let's see. Charlotte, alright. Fair, fair. Hurts a lot, but it's fair. Let's draw a card. Alright, so. I think the play is pretty obvious, right? We have to do it. So if he plays Plaza, that's a problem. We still don't lose Jace. However, we can just have an easy situation right now and start getting cards for free. I honestly think it's good enough. It's not the Sunfall I dreamed of, but it's a Sunfall I'm getting, alright? And sure. Like this in the graveyard is actually good for us. Like if he spends the whole turn or... Oh, here's the... Obvious choice seems to be Airtie. Is there something else? So if they play Airtie, what do? We trade the token? We trade the token, bro. And enjoy. If you don't play them anyway, you can have them. Giada? Bruh? Okay. Okay. Maybe they are going for the crew, but that really slows them down. We need to be a little bit careful, because normally the downside of Airtie Resurrected is that your opponent draws a card, but it doesn't matter if you counter a spell that draws 2 cards, right? Suddenly it becomes better, just simply better, and you still have the creature in the board. So you really need to try to avoid it. And he doesn't have a great choice, because if he plays it right now, like he can kill Jace, I draw a card, so I still get a good value. Like I already drew 2 cards with Jace. And they're going for this play, which makes me think that I will go for Memory Deluge, because it's important that we resolve this. Let's go for more value. We still have the thing, we also have priority, so he cannot absolutely like ignore, make disappear. Even though we don't have it in the hand, but he needs to think about it. Because we have blue, we have white, I'm highlighting it so he knows. 1, 2, 3, go. That's probably a make disappear timing, right? Alright. They wasted... No, they didn't waste, because they cannot use it, right? So let's go for the thingy. And let's think... that's a little bit too many lands for my taste, you know? However, I can go like this. Talia is fully negated. We will go with Teferi. And now the big question. Do we think we can ultimate it? I think we much rather get the card. It is simply better. Syncopate is a good one. I think it's a Syncopate, not for this turn probably, but maybe for the next one. And of course we are keeping this one to defend. Even if there's Raffine, it will be a 3-3 at most. And I mean, let's go. We have Memory Deluge in the graveyard, and that will probably win me the game, because I will hit Farewell. And then, you know, there's nothing for him. And here it is! We played perfectly around it. You go. Is that a token or just a direct Planeswalker? Probably a good choice, but I still get my amazing cards for the day, man. We are getting a little bit too many lands. I still think we'll win this pretty easily, but definitely those lands do not help. He ignored Scrarf even though he has mana, so I expect another play, right? Yeah, for example. Sure. What can you do? Alright, like I'm thinking about Syncopate, but there's Talia in the board. You know, the mana symbols could give me some idea that maybe something is happening, but I'm resistant to, like, you know, visible information. And here we go. That's probably the game-ending thing, right? Pretty good to me. I could probably attack, but let's be honest, it doesn't matter. Let's keep the Jace, because that's our free card advantage for the next turn. And thanks to those draws, like we drew, I think 2 or 3 cards. Man, bro, what's up with the mouse? Man, the mouse. Alright. Sorry guys for this. What's up in the game? Yeah, he plays Staff, alright. Honestly, I think the game is over at this point. He cannot beat us with just 2 cards, he needs way more. Like, he needs a lot of pressure, man. And 1 for Adeline against a 5/5 is definitely not a lot of pressure, especially with Memory Deluge on the, you know, in the back. So we don't need this card advantage yet, because we can just, yeah, and he knows that he cannot prevent the Memory Deluge, and it means that we cast it and we get whatever we need. Alright, very nice. Finally. Alright, we're getting there. Slowly but surely. So right, so this will be the Gauntlet into Teferi probably, and try to protect it. And here's the way for, I think it hits battles, right? And then you land from, okay, I know everything. Let's go with the planes. And you know what? Let's set it up to get spicy game up. Because I really want to have Teferi, and we can lay down arms instantly to pump it to 6 already. Man, that's quick. That's really quick. Here's the Sharded. Alright, so this will be some serious stuff coming down. One of the cool things, moment, how do we do? I think this will be cycled probably. So I can get it to 6 loyalty, which means those guys do not kill it. Especially not if I lay down arms, right? And no counters here, so I mean, let's target this one. Let's not proliferate. No. I mean, we could go for Trespasser. I think this should be good enough, and I don't want to discard cards. And let's start pumping this Teferi. Like with Farewell, like we can Farewell on the next turn, which means that Shard drop is not very scary right now. Alright, getting excited for this one. Oh, nothing? Bro? Oh boy, that's pretty huge. Let's play the land. I will take the card, man. I like cards, and we can start drawing them every single turn, probably. This could be Jace or Negate. We can kill this with Fateful Absence on the land. So, honestly, I think Jace is pretty decent. And it means that we are oh, we will play it later, I guess. I could play it for 3, I think. Let's go for it. I think it's a good play. I already can start stacking the Teferi. There's probably something here, right? So I think something might die at the end step. Let's mill some stuff. Let's mill him. Even though he has creatures, so in a way we are helping him. But this damage is not the biggest deal, you know? I could go into the daytime, but it shouldn't matter very much. Alright, let's see how he attacks and how he decides to go on this turn. I also have the Emperor, right? I don't care about this damage, so, you know, I'm just fine. I usually want him to maybe do something more. No blockers. They usually do something if they have some combat trick in mind. Alright, I think it should be... which one we pump? I think it's Teferi. Teferi is a bit higher quality in this situation, because we don't really care about milling so much. And I will get rid of the land. We don't have too much value. Farewell not needed right now, so I think we can afford it. And him drawing card is really good for us, because we have a lot of value. Oh no, that can destroy the artifact. So this might be our last turn, unless we just go for Fateful Absence. We could also start doing some cards with Teferi. I know ultimate is tempting, but man, drawing correct card would be absolutely amazing here. I think it's Sunfall. It's good enough. This way we protect the Gauntlet. And let's start stacking. Man, we are minusing him and we can still proliferate and get him to like 3 loyalty this turn and like 5, 6 on the next one. So that was pretty cool, man. I will take it just because I can play Jace on turn 3, so that's not, you know, end. But it felt like an extremely bad hand, man. Alright, here's the sleeper. We're a bit behind right now, but I hope we can make it work. Sunfall, very good draw. One of the cards we definitely needed to get back in the game, and I think with Sunfall, oh boy. Not gonna lie, I did not expect this play. So he cannot pump it too much. So do we go for Celestus and go for Teferi on the next turn? That seems like a very strong play. That's something I will go for. Alright, you're getting 2 cards a turn. So I mean, I could compete with this if I hit the Teferi ult. Maybe that's the play. Not sure, we will see. We will see. Here's the Shorted. I mean, he really wants the Sunfall, doesn't he? And I mean, the Sunfall you will get then. Alright, not great because we traded 1 for 2, but he instantly gets this card back thanks to Arena for 1 life right now. So we didn't get much advantage, like we got advantage, but you know, it's still even basically. Liliana. Liliana is strong. Man, the fact that I didn't negate this Arena when I theoretically could, like I didn't expect anything scare will drop so quickly. I think it's still the Sunfall. I really want the Negate. Like, it can be game saving, man. Land is okay. I can get Liliana low, but I probably just want the Fateful Absence, honestly. It's not really necessary, but you know, just manual taps. Alright. I think I wait 1 turn with Liliana kill, and I think that will be worth it. I normally need blue mana more, but I don't want to show it, so I'm tapping white. I could theoretically just attack Liliana. That's not a bad play, man. That is not a bad play. And if he plays the Edict, I still have Negate. It puts more pressure into him. Like, maybe we get Liliana for free. We probably won't, but he actually needs to devote some resources to defending her. And he probably won't get the value anyway. Like, not too much at least. Man, he's getting so much cards over us. Alright, we trade 1 for 1. I honestly think it has to be Jace. Because I'm sure we are not keeping the token for the next turn, and even if we do, like, she's still at 1. Alright. Misha's Foundry is still here. Alright. So we end up with the Teferi. It's something I did not expect, to be honest. I need to be mana efficient now.
I know when I'm not wanted.
Extremely horrible draw. Oh boy, I really wanted something better. Because I want to ultimate the Teferi, but I don't think we can right now. I think we need to change our gameplay. And now I hoped for Farewell, and I also didn't hit it. So what we have to do is try to play like this, make our deck a bit better. I've seen Farewell there, pretty good card. And if we switch to Nighttime, which would cycle our bad cards, we cannot negate. And there's 100% something that will be negated, right? Like, we are short on mana on this turn, so we obviously would enjoy some extra mana. So let's go like this. And we will try to protect Teferi, I guess. Like, basically we need to hit farewell at some point, reset this, and try to win from there with Memory Deluge to get card advantage. That's how I see it right now. We can also try to hit the Ichormoon Gauntlet, and at some point we start getting a lot of value. If we could ultimate Teferi, that would be a, you know, a one game. So we want to block like this. We need to protect Teferi. This forces at least one mana into the Miser's Shadow, or you can just waste it, I guess. Here's Liliana. Here's the Negate. Show me more. I expect he has more plays, because otherwise he should attack with the Foundry and he would negate one extra card from Teferi. Alright, I mean, all we need is farewell from the top. Huh. I see. It's hard to win like this, man. Alright, that was a hard blow for sure, but on the bright side, we will be able to cycle a lot of cards. On the next turn we can go, you know, into daytime, into nighttime during one turn, so we will draw 2, cycle 2, or should I say draw 2, discard 2. He's going for the face, which is probably a good strategy, however it means that I have more stuff. Bro, no creatures? If you are going face, you should exile Miser's Shadow, and go with the Founder, honestly. So I can discard one of the cards if I want, or I can just kill Flesh Gorger. He's not using clues so far. I really don't want to discard 2 cards, man. That sounds super bad. I think we go like this. It gives him potentially another card, but it's not like he wants to... Like, he didn't even want the first card because he fights for the tempo. And it means that I basically got hit by the Flesh Gorger this turn, but on the next one, that's not the case. Alright, hitting us with the Shrouded, but we still play a lot of sweepers in the deck, as we can see. And that should be pretty good. It's a bit convoluted play, don't you worry. But this way, if he answers to Sunfall somehow, we still have the Teferi trigger. Not really super needed maybe, but maybe we switch Celestus. That seems like a decent idea, right? One spell. We keep those cards, we want to cycle them. Yeah, I think we keep the token for Mishra's Founder. This way we... Like, he can probably kill Teferi, but not right now, not easily. Like, he needs to commit at least one card to get this done. I mean, I kinda regret not countering it on turn 2. Honestly, also, if we were on the play, this wouldn't happen. Just food for thought, because we would have 3 mana to his 3 mana. And that means, okay, I enjoy it. Normally you want trade card for card when you have the arena, but look at the card and look at, as always, like I tell you, man, Liliana is always on my side, because my draws are always just lands from the top. So I'm actually enjoying Liliana nearly always. Alright, we definitely want to... I mean, we have cards that do something in this deck, I promise you. Miser's Shadow. Hard one. I would really love the card, man. So I can sneak 2 damage to this, but not much more. Alright, so how do we do it? I mean... We don't really, there's not much to do here. It's colorless, so he can go up to 3/3 anyway. Do you do something? This forces his reaction first. And he went for it. Good choice, probably. This Mishra's Foundry is super annoying, man. I also don't want to play during my turn, so I switch to the nighttime. So do we even hit Liliana? Then I cannot protect my Teferi. We will see. I don't... He can -2 though, right? It's the same... So... Unless we want to kill Liliana, it means we have to kill Liliana then. Oh, that's a problem, man. I want to see my card first. But let's still attack her. I could go for the face, but it's really hard for me to threaten his life total, and a single march will absolutely deny this whole plan, you know? Let's draw, let's see what we will get. Alright, definitely a bit better, but we still have to discard it. So I think at this point it has to be Liliana, right? Man, that's bad. If I protect the Teferi, I will get a good draw. But I still need to kill Liliana somehow, man, so... No good answers. No good answers when your opponent draws double your cards for the last 10 turns. Suddenly, even if you trade very well, you still are behind on cards, man. Alright, so the Teferi is dead. He tried his best. But you can see that slowly disadvantage grinds us, and we need for a while. I think we've seen it, and I don't remember if it went to, you know, just shuffling into the deck or bottom of the library. I don't see it on the bottom, so it had to be shuffled. So we don't know where it is. Alright, I mean, you can do it this way, I don't mind. It would be cheaper to just pump it, but probably he expected a removal, and I cannot blame him for it. Even though he should see there is no priority, because I was too lazy to fake it. And he still played like we had one. Alright. I mean, there's still farewell in the deck. A wild Syncopate appears. I mean, we play like this, we try to slow the game down to start. We also have triple Memory Deluge in the deck, like we are not hitting anything, man. Like look at those cards, Emperors, like all the good stuff is here. We can go for Syncopate. I played the Farmhead, so I'm not going for double triggers. I mean, syncopating stuff, I think it's better than not doing anything, but it's not looking super hot, man. I don't think we are winning this one. The mistake I did is not expect a 3-drop that will be devastating, and in all honesty, Mono Black has Liliana nearly always, even if they don't play Arena usually. And Liliana is also worth a negate, so I should probably play the untapped land on turn 2 and just negate it, and the game would be ours like 5 turns ago. Because we are making, like, even after all of those extra cards, he's like at 3 cards and we are at 2. So, I mean, you can see how great of a job we did just to negate his card advantage, but he just gets double what we get, and it's hard to beat consistently. Here's the Geeks command, and we can force him to pay 4. And I mean, I will definitely force him to pay 4. This is why we left the mana for Syncopate. If he attacks with Foundry, we trade with the token, and I mean we have to block Miser's Shadow, because if he pays mana it's like 6/6. I could try to double block it and force him to tap, but I do not get anything out of this man, like not really. So I need to take the damage and just mitigate the biggest damage. On the next turn I will trade the token here. Man, it's so hot. Alright, so double spelling, perfect. And here we go. See? We have cards. We have cards in this deck. I know it's crazy. Jace can be our saving grace. 3 mana. So we just need to survive. We can go into the nighttime, we gain 1 life, we don't get much else. Let's go for it. Smite Emperor, the only non-land cards we got. We still didn't hit 1 Gauntlet, man. It's really rough so far. If I go for the Jace, it gets hit by 3. Or even more. I don't think that's a good idea. I think we just smite something and that's it. And here we go with the extra cards. I know I could pressure his life total, but like single Flash Gorger negates this whole plan, you know? Alright. A lot of mana, so it will hurt. I'm actually enjoying the fact that he's pumping right now. If he pumps again or plays something huge, maybe I can kill the Miser's Shadow. Alright, this is definitely something I would love to smite. Alright guys, is this the Shadow or the Underdog? Feels like Underdog just because of the card though. I should probably count the damage if I die, because I think I will be at 1. So that was a bit of a close call, but it's fine. It's fine. It's so fine. And those are cards we needed to start getting back into the game, but we're drawing them now, and I think it's too late. And here we go with the land. Alright. We still are even in the cards with him, but he just had more stuff earlier. And that's a correct decision. It was a good game, but I think we lost for the wrong reasons. But I definitely could negate the arena, and the rest of the game would be very easy.